see this. So yeah, so let's hear this guy, man. It's funny.
And then I see the disinfectant where it knocks it out in a minute, 1 minute. And is there a way we can do something like that by injection inside or almost a cleaning? Because you see it gets on the lungs and it does a tremendous number in the lungs. So it'd be interesting to check that. So that you're going to have to use medical doctors with. But it sounds interesting to me. I would like you to speak to the medical doctors to see if there's any way that you can apply light and heat to cure.
Why did not?
If you could, and maybe you can, maybe you can't. Again, I say maybe you can, maybe you can't.
No, you just can't.
But I'm like a person that has a good, you know what.
But sir, you're the president.
Deborah, have you ever heard of that? The heat and the light relative to certain viruses, yes, but relative to this virus?
Not as a treatment. I mean, certainly fever
Yeah.
is a good thing. When you have a fever, it helps your body respond. But not as, I've not seen heat or light.
I think it's a great thing to look at. I mean, you know.
No, it's
Okay.
not. You're an idiot.
Hopefully, sir, you're the president, and people tuning into these briefings, they want to get information and guidance and want to know what to do. They're not looking for rumors.
Phil, I'm the president, and you're fake news. And you know what I'll say to you? I'll say very nicely, I know you well. I know you well, because I know the guy. I see what he writes. He's a total faker. So are you ready? Are you ready?
This
You
is
ready?
where he starts going on
It's
a
just
weird
a
tangent.
suggestion.
When
from
he
a
says,
brilliant
when you're
lad
ready,
by
that's
a
when.
very, very smart, perhaps brilliant man. He's talking about sun, he's talking about heat, and you see the numbers. So that's it. That's all I have. I'm just here to present talent. I'm here to present ideas. Because we want ideas
No,
to
you're
get rid of
not.
this
You're
thing.
supposed
And if
to
heat
talk
is
about
good,
facts, you
and if
idiot.
sunlight is good, that's a great thing as far as I'm concerned. Go ahead.
And so, fresh off of relentlessly touting hydroxychloroquine.
This guy's a little annoying, but I understand that he's just doing his job. He can't do anything about that. But you know, that's a sad part of this entire thing. This guy, he's like always talking about stuff, and everyone just has to sit there and listen to him blabbering on and on and on, just spewing out complete BS, and it's just really interesting and funny to me. And you know, the even sadder thing is that people are still listening to him. They actually are believing in what he's saying, which is so absolutely frightening to know for a fact that this is basically, you know, people are actually listening to him and they're believing him. And I'm not going to be surprised if very soon we find out that somebody injected themselves with disinfectant is going to be a Trump supporter. We all know that already. It's going to be a Trump supporter. We know he's going to be some big idiot who's just going to be like, hey, the president says this, I love him to death, let's just try it out and see what happens. And that's a really sad reality of things. Hello, Adam. He was the guest yesterday, if you guys remember his beautiful bald head. So yeah, I mean, this is the thing. Somebody or the other is gonna do it. I'm guessing it's gonna be a family. A family will do this, and they're going to end up dead, and they're gonna find his body, their bodies, and they're gonna be like, oh my god, what just happened? And then it won't matter. It never matters what Trump says. It never really matters, because at the end of the day, he just moves on to the next BS and the next one and the next one. It just keeps on going on and on and on. And that's what everybody's now joking about, that he basically told people to lay down in tanning beds and just inject themselves with disinfectant and just see what happens. It's an idea that he's apparently presented him to the world. He doesn't realize how many people are actually going to listen to him and are actually going to get really, really sick. But yeah, that's the sad reality of things right now. We have a bunch of different stories. I do have a bunch of different stories that I want to discuss with you guys. So one is Vietjet. Basically, they're increasing Vietnam domestic flights, the frequency of those flights. And interestingly, that doesn't sound right. You won't believe me, so I'm going to move my face again. You won't believe me on this. It says that it's the promotional ticket fares are 13 baht. If there's anybody out there who's in Vietnam who can confirm this, we can check it out as well ourselves actually. Um, okay, let's just check this out. This is gonna be interesting. Um, yeah, choose any destination. I don't care. Um, yeah, just a couple more days ahead. Let's just see what the lowest fare is. No, it says 2600 baht and stuff. So I think I need to properly read this. Where did it go? Gosh dang it. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, that just doesn't sound right. Regardless, Vietjet is increasing its domestic flight frequency in Vietnam, including 6 return flights per day between Hanoi and Ho Chi Minh City. Interesting. There is an asterisk sign here, which means that the flight period is from April 23rd to December 31st, and that's when you can actually get these flights. Okay, interesting. Vietnam is reopening eventually, but the health ministers over there, they have mentioned that we are still not out of the red zone. It's still dangerous, so I don't think a lot of these plans are gonna go ahead with it. But there is a photo of a plane flying, but I don't think that's a recent one. That can't possibly be a recent one. Here's another interesting one. Black cats are being slaughtered and boiled in Vietnam. That's the actual story I wanted to share with you guys. Black cats are being slaughtered and boiled in Vietnam to make coronavirus charity cure, says charity. They're being killed. They are being made into basically soup, and they're being cooked into pasta and soup, and people are actually drinking it, and they're saying that it might be a cure, a treatment for COVID-19. There have been a lot of photos, and there is a charity named the No to Dog Meat Group. These are cats. Just if there's any confusion for the people at the dog meat group, these are cats, but I do understand the gesture is very nice, very sweet. But there are images showing black paste allegedly produced by the process, with one apparently showing a baby being fed the mixture. Jeez. There was this interesting story in which this Islamic scholar in Pakistan was saying that you can take kind of the a-hole of pigeons and you can eat it or mix it with water, it doesn't matter, and the coronavirus just disappears. Hallelujah. That was obviously not correct or true either, but that is something. These are things that people are actually doing. They're trying to sell these ideas. Hopefully they're not getting money for this crap, but they are trying to sell certain ideas, and it is just horrific and scary, and it's ridiculous that people are actually doing this crap. Our Imran Somjai is saying, loving the style of reporting, bad A indeed, sharing the source and making people read, because most of them are too lazy to do so on their own. And hi Imran, how are you? I still have to catch you, by the way. But yeah, I try to make sure that although although I do go on rants and I do go on crazy tangents, but this is so much better than you guys just searching for news on the internet, because at least over here there's gonna be news about Phuket, Thailand, Asia in general, and we get to make fun of Trump here, no holds barred. So there's always that option. So we're done with the black cat cure, but let's talk about the real cure, real possible cures that might just be coming in. In the UK, people are actually being injected with a vaccine trials. Basically, they're going to these trials. So one is basically it's a group of more than 800 people. Initial group of more than 800 people. This is in Oxford, and half of them are going to receive the COVID-19 vaccine, which they are testing now, and the other half will be a control vaccine that protects against meningitis, but not coronavirus. So, there are two massive groups, so about 400 people each, and it is going to be interesting to see what happens. I'm guessing the patients don't know this. They don't know. These people don't know what they are being injected with. But it's not disinfectant, people. It is not disinfectant because according to Trump, that is something that should be tried. You heard it here, not first, maybe the millionth time. Do not inject yourself with disinfectant liquids. And do not hit the tanning beds and expect the sunlight to just take your corona away. That's not going to happen, please. But there is this scientist, she actually received one shot, and she said, I'm a scientist, so I wanted to try to support the scientific process wherever I can. And I think that's amazing. People are going crazy trying to help in any way possible, especially medical services staff and everything. That's really, really nice. But so 2 volunteers have been injected, and a total of 800 people have been recruited. Let's see what happens. Fingers crossed, people. This is interestingly the same team that. Let me confirm this. This is the same Oxford team that developed a vaccine against MERS. It was another type of coronavirus, and they're basically using the same approach, which is actually fantastic. I totally trust this to go somewhere positive. They did something great in the past. Let's see what happens in the very, very hopeful near future. Coming to Phuket, they are planning to ease the lockdown situation. They're saying the virus is expected to cost the island 127 billion baht in lost tourism. Phuket business leaders have... Jeez. See, this is when it becomes really annoying to read the news, because check this out. It says Phuket business leaders have urged Deputy Prime Minister as well as Tourism and Sports Minister and Tourism Authority of Thailand to relax the lockdown restrictions in place in Phuket to relieve the economic suffering of residents and businesses on the island. Please do not listen to these idiots. Listen to scientists, listen to people in medicine, listen to Bill Gates. I don't care. Don't listen to freaking idiots who think that it's all good. The coronavirus is happening. We understand, but we are losing money. So restart the situation. Please don't do that. I beg of you, government. Do not just reopen for no reason at all. I understand that the numbers have been going down, but the really big problem is that that's what messed up our numbers recently. So there were 3 days. I need to confirm these numbers, but for 3 days, they were basically zero. Literally, they were zero. There were 0 new cases in Phuket, and everyone was really happy, as I was as well. The only problem is they kind of chilled out. A few people may just have left their houses and stuff like that. I just read something from a Phuket expat who has been traveling district to district just because he needs to go to the post office and to macro, and he's like defending his situation, his actions, and so somebody or the other may have done that, and at the end we had one more case. So from April 18th, 19th, and 20th, we had 0 cases. 21st, we had 1 case. 22nd we had 3 cases, 23rd we had 1 case, and today we have 4 new cases. So trusting the general public to make smart decisions is something that I personally do not think should ever be done. But yeah, that's about it. Please, let's finish this story. Actually, so they're saying that they they led a meeting on the economic impact. It's a yeah. The meeting was held at Phuket Provincial Hall. I wonder if they were actually doing social distancing during the situation. They basically said to ease the district lockdown. See, the district lockdown I can understand. What I do not understand is the fact that people want to start flights and international flights and they want to travel from one country to the other, province to province. That's something I do not understand. I hope that doesn't happen anytime soon. But let's see what happens. We have some good news as well, apart from the fact that they're testing Oxford is testing vaccines on people. Russia has airlifted 193 tourists stranded in Phuket, which is actually really good news, obviously, for them. There was actually a couple of Russians who were living in a temple as well. They were taken out of there. I think this is about 3 weeks ago, and I was actually supposed to go interview them, but then the district lockdown happened and I couldn't. But this is the second airlift since Phuket airport's closure was took place way back. It ended up reaching southwestern Siberia at around 8 p.m. Phuket time. They actually had this plane transported about 146 adults, 42 children, and 5 infants or slash toddlers. Good news. Good news. Good for you guys. I hope it works out for you guys. Phuket blanked as Air Asia to resume domestic flights from May 1. Now this is something I'm happy with. People will not appreciate me saying that, but that's okay. I don't care. Air Asia has decided to resume, their domestic operations starting May 1st for passengers in need of traveling. But there's going to be strict health controls and everything, social distancing protocol in place, blah blah, a bunch of other things. But Phuket has not been announced as one of the domestic destinations that this plane will fly to. This airline is going to fly to. So the plan is that there will be social distancing. I'm not sure how on planes and airports. So they're not going to serve you food or drink on the plane, which is fine. They don't serve anything at all anyways. But other than that, they have said that each row is going to be, so one row is going to be full, one is going to be empty. Just alternate rows are going to be filled up. But with the air circulation, I just don't know if that's precaution enough. But what can you do? But interestingly, and this is kind of funny to me, but they said the last row is going to be dedicated to people who actually are coughing or sneezing or have fever or may have symptoms of the virus. Yeah, I'm not stuck. I know what I want to say. It's just I'm really speechless. It's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. But yeah, with the air circulation and everything, I just don't understand how that's gonna be okay to do. You get me? But yeah, that's what they're actually planning to do now. They have said that strict measures are to be enforced. They said this Ministry of Public Health and Civil Aviation Authority of Thailand said in an announcement issued this after today. They have said that there will be seat distancing on board, mask wearing throughout flights, and suspension of food and beverage services. Air Asia will also be disinfecting all planes and shuttle buses daily. That's not good enough. to ensure the highest level of safety for all guests and staff. So the routes to be resumed are Don Mueang to Chiang Mai, Chiang Rai, Khon Kaen, Udon Thani, Obon Ratchathani, Nakhon Phanom, Roi Et, Nakhon Si Thammarat, Trang, Hat Yai, ooh, I love Hat Yai, Sarotani, as well as cross-region connection Chiang Mai to Hat Yai. So yeah, they are saying the additional measures are that they will be distanced with alternate seating, like we just talked about. The airline will sell limited number of seats on every flight. Guests will be required to wear their own face masks. I'm guessing a lot of people will not want to wear the masks, and there will be fights and scuffles in these flights. And I'm not going to travel during this time. I want things to be a little more normal before I start traveling again. I'm happy here. Guests are to be screened in accordance with airport regulations, including body temperature scan during boarding. Passengers with a body temperature above 37.3 will be denied travel. Interesting. So 38, 39 is when things get really dangerous. 37.3 is actually not that bad, but I'm guessing there's just being extra careful about this. You will be allowed only one piece of personal baggage. So people who had already traveled out of different provinces and they have to come back, I'm guessing they have to throw their luggage away, I guess, because if you can't travel with more stuff, what can you do? Deal for what? No champagne? No. I'm not sure. No. There's no alcohol. Dale? Hi, sorry, I totally missed your comments. Try it on live just to see if it works. Yeah, sorry, I've been missing these comments. I will do a better job. Yeah, I'm just gonna open this. Definitely feed from disinfectant face palm. Yes, sir. If it was up to me, it would have happened a long time ago. So there's that. We have the coronavirus vaccine being worked on. So let's talk about the interesting comments that we get from our amazing expats and Thailand and especially Phuket expats. On Phuket News. Sorry, Jason, I'm stealing your stories. I'm showing your website though, so you should be happy about that. So this gentleman says, funny having millionaires discussing economic hardship of others. Why they care? They take their paycheck. Okay, so see, generally we're just very angry expats all the time. But what I am interested in comments like these. The virus will never be gone. It will always come back. Should have medicine. So unless people get more financial support, life needs to continue. Poor people now more than infected people. Hey, Damas, you mentioned, so unless people get more financial support, life needs to continue. If they are dead, there is no life. Do you understand that? I do not know where this guy is thinking from, but probably there. But that's one of the dumbest things I've ever read. Good to lift the lockdown as much as possible. At least the domestic market can provide some relief to business while awaiting the return of international travel. That is actually something I agree with, but Phuket needs to be clean and clear for at least 30 days. That is what needs to be done. A lot of scientists, a lot of doctors in the world have said that your city, your area, your country needs to be clean for 15 to 30 days to actually allow people to walk and roam around freely, and that basically will be the reason for not for no more cases, no more extra cases, and that's just something that is just a fact. But these people just don't want to agree with that. Selective passing at least could be allowed for urgent works, even with the stipulated time. Agreed. The tourists coming in must have a negative test on virus. Yeah, and not just a silly temperature test. I agree. But the tourists should not be coming in. You should not be traveling outside of your own country, let alone traveling into Phuket. There is nothing going on. All businesses are closed. If you are a traveler, an international traveler, and you have decided you're going to come to Phuket, what are you going to exactly do here? Ask me. I will tell you. There is nothing to do here right now. All of us are in our homes. We go to 7-Eleven maybe once every 2 weeks, get a bunch of water and stuff, and come back. There's no alcohol, there's no food. Yeah, you can sit in a hotel. Oh no, you can't sit in hotel rooms. You can sit in a rented condo, and you can order food, and the food will come to you using Grab or Food Panda or something or the other. But you can't really go out and enjoy yourself. Everything is closed. Blah blah blah. People, okay. Yeah, so stupid idea, the lockdown of sub-district. No, it's not, Mr. Rahul. It's really not. And he doesn't even live here. So why are you talking about stuff if you don't even live here? Yes, I do understand. I was talking to Trump about Trump, and I don't live in the US. I understand that. But this is different. This is my show. I can do this shit. The funniest one, and this is the last one, is this guy says, Mr. Rajiv says, somehow I can easily move around from Tambon Vichit, like district Vichit, to district Phuket Muang without getting checked on some roads. He's not supposed to be doing that. The last time I did that, I was threatened to have to pay 100,000 baht fine. So you can't do that. And some guy, a Thai guy, basically said, that's not good, man. What you've been doing might cause you the bad results. Imagine you got infected or you spread the virus without any awareness. Your cooperation is crucial. Be safe, thanks. And the response to this guy is a decent message, right? The response is, needed to go to the post office and then to Macro to buy food. Thanks for your concern. He's not concerned. He doesn't want you to freaking get out of your house. Macro is in Vichit district, but main post office, not that. Why I was surprised. I need to check my comments and my blood pressure all at the same time. Multitasking right here. Blah 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 blah. So yeah, we have 2 more stories, and I will be out of your hair. I promise. I promise. I promise. This is the second last, and the most interesting story. It's about China's airlines. They are testing the markets again. They're testing international flights starting May, planning 1 weekly service per country to start the process of rebuilding their route networks. As if enough damage had not been done, China Southern has filed timetable information showing it will increase services in May 2020 and intends to operate 1 route per country per week to begin rebuilding its network. The airline will offer just 1 service weekly from Guangzhou to Bangkok starting 6th May. Flights are in Dhaka, Kathmandu, Kuala Lumpur, Singapore, Phnom Penh, Vientiane, I don't know, Seoul and Tokyo and Manila, all due to start with 1 flight per week. Air China will also begin the same process of reinstating international services in May to destinations worldwide. Beijing, Bangkok, Delhi, Islamabad, Phnom Penh, Seoul, Kathmandu, Singapore, Narita, and there's so many others. I want to take this time. Let's get back to that one because we'll end on that note. A month-old baby has recovered from the COVID-19 in Thailand and has been discharged from hospital. Congratulations! I have been to this hospital and it's one of the most beautiful ones I have seen in the world. 1 month and 17 days old kid contracted a virus from his parents and was transferred to Banchang Hospital in Rayong. From there to Bhamra Naradura Infectious Diseases Institute. People were concerned because he was the youngest COVID patient as of yet. Mr. Satet, who was they haven't mentioned. Okay, health minister. He revealed on his Facebook page that baby recovered and was taken back home yesterday. That's the 23rd of April. He also said that the baby became the darling of doctors and nurses, as well as many people who had expressed their hope for the infant's speedy recovery. He cried only when he was hungry at night, bless his heart, adding that he was so well fed that his weight had increased from 5 kg to 5.8. Baby was nicknamed Kin Kin by nurses. My God, Kin Kin, you turned into a fat baby. Baby has many fans. On their behalf, I would like to thank the doctors and nurses for taking care of him. That's really, really nice. That's a good story of survival and success in these really tumultuous times. But, you know, I think we all need this stuff. We need to hear the good things as well. It was interesting, to see how many people have actually gotten infected, and they're going through so much hardship. But there are hardly any good news stories, and not bless his heart. Trump, for example, in the U.S. does not make it easy at all. There's about almost a million total infections in the US right now. They're about to hit 50,000 deaths in the US in the past very few weeks, over the past very few weeks, and I just hope things get better. But this baby story was a freaking delight to actually read and see what happens. Imran Samjai has said, science can be so weird, please cover this too. France bans online sales of nicotine products. Sure, Imran, let's do this story, then we're going to be ending it, but with another interesting story that is going to spark some controversy. France has banned the online sale of nicotine products and limited their sale in pharmacies. They are suggesting that nicotine may play a role in protecting against the coronavirus. I have heard this, that people who smoke are prone to get it. People who are obese, who have conditions, medical conditions, pre-existing ones, they are more susceptible to the disease. But with cigarettes, I've never really read it on a report, so let's just check it out. Last week, data from a Paris hospital indicated that smokers were statistically less likely to be admitted for treatment for COVID-19. Interesting. Trials are set to continue in France. France reported nearly 22,000 coronavirus-related deaths since the start of the outbreak this year. Why are they doing this to nicotine, though? They're saying that people will only be allowed to buy 1 month's supply of these products. President Emmanuel Macron has said, we are at war. It also says this can be done only through pharmacies. Oh, these are not cigarettes. These are basically the patches. I should have caught on to that, I guess. So yeah, these are the patches, you put on your arm and stuff. So you can only do this, take them from the pharmacies and nowhere else. They said that they noticed the low number of smokers among those hospitalized with. It's really bad English, BBC. Uh, Nicotine could play a role in blocking the virus. Is due to be tested at a hospital. The government's chief health official said the study was interesting but warned that smoking killed 75,000 people a year in France. Also warned that smokers who did become infected with the virus tended to have more serious symptoms. I can believe that, because it's a respiratory disease virus, right? So I can actually believe that the smokers are more susceptible to these things. They are more in danger than other people. So yeah, I can actually believe that. Um, and the last story, people, is this really interesting. This is a warship. You need to see this. It's actually a really beautiful ship. I mean, I'm not much for war, but so you know how Trump, for example, he tells you one thing and he keeps on going crazy, just so he can do some other stupid thing that nobody cares about at that particular time. That's kind of what's happening here, except the U.S. is actually blaming somebody else, as usual. So yeah, let's read the story. This is going to be the last one. Go! Malaysia's push to explore energy blocks off its coast has turned into a five-nation face-off, including US and Chinese warships, raising the risk of a direct confrontation as broader tensions grow between the world's biggest economies. Mike Pompeo on Thursday, basically, Thursday was in April 24th. Come on, man, Straits Times, whatever. Accused China of exploiting, the US Secretary of State accused China of exploiting the world's focus on the COVID-19 pandemic in the South China Sea. He basically did a video call with 10 Southeast Asian foreign ministers. He said China dispatched a flotilla that included an energy survey vessel for the sole purpose of intimidating other claimants from engaging. So they're basically fighting for, the South China Sea situation. They're saying that, basically the waters are also claimed by Vietnam and China, which both the countries basically send their ships as well. And then for some odd reason, the US sent their two warships, about 50 nautical miles off of the Malaysian ship, according to defense analysts. They're saying the US strongly opposes China's bullying. The US is talking about bullying people. Amazing. And we hope other nations will hold them to account too. Yeah, I don't want to read this anymore. So yeah, that was NewsViews, people. I'm glad that you stuck around. If you did, if you appreciated this thing at all, please like and share and comment and subscribe. I do upload these on my YouTube channel as well. I'm gonna do it right after I log off. I know it's late. I don't care. I do not care, people. But you can watch my vlogs over there as well. It's zostillmovingabout on YouTube. I would appreciate you guys leave some love there, subscribe a bit over there, share with your friends and family and loved ones and your lovers and mistresses and whoever you want to do that with. Basically that. Take care of yourselves. I will see you guys tomorrow with some more interesting stories, and it's probably going to be as late as this because I just don't got no time. See ya, people. Bye bye. Take it easy.